Hello, Central Region Familia. This is your friendly neighborhood MPD coordinator and special guest host regional director with this week's MPD Moment, your one-stop shop for quick hits of MPD goodness. First, as always, a little bit of housekeeping. We have our 3 goals for this semester. Make sure that you have established your campus account. Make sure that you have sent all of your thank you notes, and make sure that you're doing your year-end ask. Also, related to the year-end ask, if you're putting in a BRE, please make sure that you're putting your name on the BRE, okay? If people send in checks and doesn't have a name on it, it goes to InterVarsity's general fund, which is a great fund, but it also means that it's not going to you. So please make sure you have your name on that. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now and get into our special MPD moment featuring our lovely regional director, Kathy. How are you doing, Kathy?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, Adam.
Absolutely, absolutely. And because of the power of technology, as you guys are watching this, I'm not actually on the clock right now. I'm very much hanging out with my kids. But we have some very special things that are going to be coming up in a few weeks, because the next time you'll be seeing me is going to be at Regional Staff Conference, which is the 13th through the 15th of December. Very excited for that. And one of the things that we're going to be doing is our regional generosity. So I wanted to bring in Kathy here and just talk a little bit about why we do regional generosity, how that's going to look at regionals, and just so we can all prepare for that well. So Kathy, if you could start, why do we do regional generosity?
Well, we started this tradition a year ago at Regional Staff Conference after, as a team, we had discerned that one of our areas of focus for these years was going to be around ministry partnership development, and in particular, developing traditions and systems that were working toward a more just and equitable ecosystem in which everyone is experiencing high levels of being both involved and transparently kind of accountable for our efforts in MPD, but also given the opportunity to share and see that people are afforded dignity and have integrity in what they should be earning, and that would be across the board. And so this came out of our conviction to use Acts 2 as a guiding scripture, where the community is caring for one another and sharing and receiving with glad and generous hearts. And so it was really born out of this conviction. And it's been a really, I think, joyful tradition as we've done it twice over the past 2 years. And our hope is that out of it, that our top line goal of that everyone would end even at the end of each ministry year financially, and with something to share even beyond our geography and beyond Central Region.
Yeah, I love those ideas of pursuing equity and justice in all parts of our job, which includes the MPD portion of things. And we've actually seen some really cool blessings, right? So can you share a little bit about how have we seen regional generosity bless the region already? We've done it twice thus far. Like, what are some of the cool things that we've seen so far?
So many cool things. I think, first of all, one of the things that we're really celebrating is I do think we sense an increase in just joy around the work we're doing, and a sense of gratitude for God's provision and the way that we're also experiencing provision through the people of God in the community of God. Specifically, we've had the highest amount of resources available for our cross-cultural planting fund, as so many of you have said yes to having 1% of donations go to that fund to help see students from every corner reached and served and empowered to make contribution to the mission in the region. And then I wanted to highlight and just celebrate, and we're going to celebrate this at Regional Staff Conference too, but because of the work you all did and the efforts you gave and God's incredible generosity to us through our partners, and then with sharing, every single staff did end the last fiscal year without deficit. So we all ended even, and that was so much a part of due to the sharing of this team. And we're excited to see even, okay, could we do that again? And what would it mean to actually see us have something to share this coming June?
Yeah, that was so great to hear. I mean, that was like what we finished at least 2 years before we thought that would be a thing that we were going to get to do. Right. Yeah. And I think regional generosity was a huge part of that. If I remember correctly, in both December and in May, staff gave to one another, and like we blessed each other with between $20,000 and $25,000 each time that we did regional generosity. And that's just really kind of a fun thing to see. So of course, we can be generous at any point in the year, but during regional staff conference, we're going to have a special opportunity to do that. Can you describe a little bit about what we're going to be experiencing at RSC?
Yeah, at RSC on Saturday night, we're going to have a time together of worship and prayer. And part of what we'll do there is take offerings. And so the chances to share at regional, there's actually a few things. Three. One is we will do an offering out of just our own personal resources to bless the work of IFES in another part of the world. So there will be a chance to give an offering. In terms of our regional generosity, there will be two options for us. One is to give to our Familia fund, which is simply kind of where it's most needed. Those funds go to help staff that have the greatest need as the year winds down. And that could be any one of us in a given year. So that lets us prioritize to the places of greatest need. The other option is if you feel compelled to give to a particular staff, God has maybe laid someone on your heart, their ministry, and you want to bless them in particular, you can identify specific staff or multiple staff that you want to give amounts to. And we also encourage people, you could think about specific dollar amounts. You could also think about a percentage. Maybe you want to give a tithe off whatever gifts come in December to one of those funds or to specific staff. So those are the three options specifically for giving we'll present on Saturday night.
Yeah, that sounds great. And so just to clarify, right? So the IFES offering, that's going to be like a kind of bring your checkbook, bring your credit card sort of situation, bring cash, sock full of pennies, all that stuff is great.
Right.
And then for the regional generosity, though, that's going to be in account transfers.
Correct. Yeah, that'll be basically pledges from your staff accounts, and the income, the money will be moved in January after. Staff directors will have a chance to look at those pledges, those gifts you like to make, just in case they want to check them with you or talk or process about your donation further. So they'll get a chance to review those before we make any specific money moves in January to the staff.
Great. Okay, so then last question. So we know that's going to be coming up in a little bit of time, again, the 13th or the 15th at Honey Creek. What are some things that we as a Familia, we as staff can be doing now to prepare for the regional generosity portion of regional staff conference?
Yeah. So I'd suggest a few things. The first is to start praying and asking the Holy Spirit to bring to mind maybe a staff or an area or something that he's inviting you to participate in the furthering of their ministry through sharing resources. God might raise someone specific or just give you a burden to give at a certain level or a certain amount or percentage. And so start asking Jesus now if this is an opportunity that you should say yes to, and how so. And then work with your supervisor and do some of the just practical work of getting a sense of where you are financially in the year. So both where are you right now as you're coming into the halfway point of the year, and how are you projecting out for the rest of the year? We do say that even if you're not at 100% of your pledges or gifts, you can still give. Sometimes we give out of our plenty, sometimes we give out of our little, but we trust that God will meet all of our needs. So we want you to be generous and feel really open to hear from God, but without compulsion. So even if you have money to share, that doesn't mean you have to. We want you to enjoy this. So listen to God and talk to your supervisor and get your head around kind of where you are so that can inform your listening and your wise decision-making about sharing with your colleagues.
Yeah, great. And then the other thing that we can do, I think we were talking about also being presenting need, right? And knowing like where are the places. Oftentimes what happens is that we have, because we have our staff team and we are regional Familia, but we don't necessarily know all the ins and outs. And so I think we were talking about potentially people bringing their year-end asks to regionals. Is that part of things as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. So some of you know this is the time everyone sends a Christmas letter and we're getting Christmas cards, and we're going to have our own kind of big bulletin board and post all of our Christmas letters and year-end asks. Think of it as like our family Christmas card gathering. And so we'll let you know how we're going to do this, but plan to have your year-end ask or Christmas letter ready so that we can gather it and post it so everyone can see what God's been doing and also what the needs that the community have are coming into December.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Well, I'm super excited. It'll be the only work thing I'm doing in the month of December. So I'm excited to be at regionals with you and the rest of our Familia. Thank you for being a part of this MPD moment. You are welcome anytime. And I'm sure this will get more than the 6 views that we normally get. So really excited to see you as a YouTube star. Any
Thanks,
final?
Adam. Yeah, let's do it again. Let's do this again.
All right, sounds good. Well, until next time, friends, have an excellent day.